Once upon a time, in a faraway and nestled between mountains and valleys, there lived a community of people whose lives were dictated by an ancient law: silence. Yes, you heard it right. They lived in silence. Imagine a world where speaking above a whisper could get you into big trouble, where songs and laughter were replaced by hushed tones and fearful whispers. That's exactly what life was like for the people living in the Valley of Karaba. The valley was ruled by a mysterious council known only as the Whisperers, who had established an eerie silence as the law of the land. It was said that generations had grown up in the valley not knowing what it was like to speak their minds. Even birds were silenced, or so everyone thought. Now let me introduce you to the protagonist of our story, a young man named Aaron. Unlike the rest of the people in the valley, Aaron was not content living in silence. You see, Aaron's father was a storyteller, and he had grown up listening to his father ease hushed whispers about a time when the valley echoed with the sounds of drums, singing, and freedom. But their peaceful way of life was shattered when the Whisperers, in their quest to maintain absolute silence, imprisoned Aaron's father for telling stories. Determined to carry on his father's legacy and avenge his imprisonment, Aaron refused to bend before the Whisperers. He started leaving strange markings on the walls of houses and buildings throughout the valley. At first glance, these markings looked like nothing more than random scratches. However, for those who saw them, especially the oppressed villagers, they held a deeper meaning. One day, driven by curiosity or perhaps a yearning for something they couldn't quite put their finger on, a few villagers followed these markings to a secluded cave. There they found Aaron, and this was where everything changed. Instead of speaking, Aaron communicated to them through the rhythmic beat of a drum that he had carved from wood and leather. Each strike of the drum reverberated like thunder in the hearts of the villagers, resonating with the silence they had endured for so long. As more and more villagers discovered this hidden cave and the enigmatic drummer, Aaron's movement grew. It became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of music, and a symbol of resistance against the oppressive regime of the Whisperers. The Whisperers, sensing the growing unrest among the people, became increasingly desperate to stop Aaron and his movement. They offered him unimaginable riches, promising him power and glory if he would abandon his quest for freedom of speech. But Aaron was unmoved. For him, the cause was bigger than any personal gain. On the night of the full moon, when the drums of the Whisperers were at their loudest, drowning out any chance of peace, Aaron and his followers made a daring move. They marched into the heart of the Whisperers' fortress, their numbers swelled by those who had had enough of living in silence. Aaron, with his drum slung over his shoulder, led the charge. The guards at the fortress gates burst into laughter when they saw him approaching. They thought it was the funniest joke ever, but when Aaron began drumming, the laughter died down. As the rhythmic beats echoed through the silent fortress, more and more guards joined in, drawn by the irresistible call of the drum. Before anyone could stop them, the gates were open and Aaron and his followers poured into the fortress, chasing away the guards who were now too busy dancing to resist. In the end, the Whisperers were overthrown not with swords or violence, but with the courage of one man and his drum. The people of Korva had reclaimed their voices, and the valley once again echoed with the sounds of drums, singing, and most importantly, laughter. And so the tale of Aaron and his drum became a legend, a reminder that the most powerful revolutions are often sparked by the simplest of means, and that one day in a faraway land, a hero emerged who taught the world that freedom begins when one voice refuses to be quiet. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this tale and want to hear more stories like this, subscribe to our channel. We bring you the most amazing and inspiring stories from around the world every week, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our wonderful community. Until next time, stay curious, keep asking questions, and never stop believing in the power of stories, because as they say, stories have the power to change the world. We'll catch you in the next one.